I'm Anil Kumar, and in this video we'll explore quadratic equation in partial factored form. Given quadratic equation in standard form as y equals to 2x squared minus 8x minus 5, we'll first find out this equation in partially factored form, and then we'll explore some properties so that we can finally sketch the graph very easily. Now, partially factored means don't factor it completely but partially. So we'll just take first two terms and we can write this equation as y equals to, what is common between them? 2x. So we can write 2x and we get x minus 4 minus 5. So that is partially factored form of a quadratic equation, right? And so simple. From standard form, just factor the first two and write the equation, right? So that is the first step. Now the second step we'll do here is find the y-intercept. Y-intercept is when x is equals to 0. So if I substitute x as 0 in this equation, what happens? So I'll show you in a different thing. So we have y equals to 2 times 0. 0 times anything is 0. So the first term is 0. You are left with minus 5, correct? And therefore you know that the y-intercept is at minus 5, correct? So let me write down the points. 0, minus 5. That is our y-intercept. Now we'll consider image point of y-intercept. So that is what we mean when we say image point. So we already have a point. We are trying to find a symmetric point on the graph of this y-intercept. As you know, parabola has axis symmetry, and so every point except for the vertex has an image point. So we'll find the image point for this. So what value of x will give you minus 5 as y value? Of course, if I take x as 4, then the first term will again be 0, and we are left with minus 5. So that is at x equals to 4. Is it okay? So at x equals to 4, we get the image y equals to minus 5, and therefore our image point is 4 minus 5. Correct? Now the question is of finding axis symmetry. It has to be midway between these two, right? So midway between these two means what? It means that x value is equals to 0 plus 4 divided by 2, which is 2. So axis of symmetry for us is, I should write here as x equals to 2, right? So that is axis of symmetry. Now let us calculate vertex. Vertex is the value where the graph cuts axis of symmetry. That means at x equals to 2. So if I substitute x as 2, I get 2 times 2, and then within bracket 2 minus 4 minus 5. Now 2 times 2 is 4, right? And this is 2 minus 2 is minus 2, and then we have to do minus 5. That is to say the value is minus 8 minus 5, so it is minus 13. So the vertex for us is at axis symmetry is 2 and the value is minus 30, right? Since the graph opens upwards, this is the minimum. And now let us sketch this function. So in this limited space, let me try to sketch this. Okay, so I think we have good enough space here. We'll sketch. So let's begin with the first point we figured out, and that was indeed the y-intercept, 0 minus 5. So let us say this is our y-intercept, and then the image 4 minus 5. So image is kind of here. Let's say that is the image 4 minus 5. So that means this point is 4, this is 0. Then we looked into axis of symmetry, which is right in the center of these. So that is our axis of symmetry. And as you know, the vertex will always lie on axis of symmetry. So let us say that the vertex is somewhere here, and this point is minus 30. Joining these points, we get our graph, right? So we can just sketch the function like this. So that becomes our parabola. Do you see that? How easy it is and how accurate it is. So that is the y-intercept. This is your image at x equals to 2. I hope with this you have another method of finding maximum or minimum value of a function also. So that is the minimum for the given function. We can also say minimum is at x equals to 2, and what is the value? Value is minus 13. So that is a very important method. I'll have few examples based on this, and then we'll do some application questions. I hope you appreciate it. You can subscribe to my videos and learn a lot about quadratic functions and related topics. Thank you and all the best.